Okay, Sarah, tell me about your childhood.
My childhood was wonderful. I was surrounded by family, so that was really awesome. Literally surrounded. Like, my grandpa lives next door, my uncle lives next door, and then my other uncle lives next door to my uncle, and then my aunt used to live next door to us too, so we were basically surrounded by everybody, which made it awesome because we were so close to everybody, and
Yes.
we always had access to all the family members.
There were lots of cousins.
We were a big group, and Grandpa was always the center of the family.
What kind of man is your grandfather?
I would say he is a strong person. He's been through a lot, and he also is like the foundation of our family. So he's strong because of what, like, his experiences, but also because he built this. He built everything.
Do you mean?
Well, not only did he build our house, he helped build our house. He built his house. He built his greenhouse. He builds bird houses all the time, like those little things. But he also, like, is the reason, obviously, why we're all here.
What kind of things did you and your grandpa do when you were growing up?
I kind of said a few of them. This was also recently. We started building birdhouses for everybody. Like, we gave one to your dad. He would give them out to everybody on the street, to all of his friends. I also helped build the greenhouse. That was when I was really young, though.
How old were you when that started?
About 6, maybe? My brother was the first one that started helping him because he was older than us. And he had so much free time being a kid, you know. Grandpa would just take him and help him with, like, little tasks, help him build tables, all those kind of things. And then I took over because I'm the favorite grandchild. I'm just kidding. Unless, no. But yeah.
What were you first doing in the workshop when you were little? Like, what was the first things that your grandpa had you do?
It started in the greenhouse, actually. He would have us help clean. We would water the plants. Me, Nate, Luke, and Christina at spaghetti nights, we would go into there and, like, brush everything off. Like, we acted like we actually worked in the greenhouse. We would put aprons on, our granny's aprons. We would shovel all of the things and dust off all the rocks off of this. He had like a brick thing in the greenhouse, and we would do that. And then we would go in the shop and we'd run around all the aisles and just start doing that. But one of the first things that I remember helping him do was this table that we made. Well, I don't even remember what it was for, but I remember, like, holding a nail and, like, or he would hold the nail and I would hammer it onto the table. He would tell me all the tools and everything. He even now he keeps telling me, like, what is this, Sarah? And I'd be like, oh, that's a screwdriver or whatever, even though that's so silly. There's other ones, like, I'm trying to think of when he always makes me remember, and the fact that I'm not remembering it now, he would think I'm so fake. The workshop is actually one of my favorite places to ever be. It reminds me of so much of my childhood. It just reminds me of, obviously, Grant. It's attached to his house, so of course it's going to remind me of him. But he has, when you first walk in, well, it's attached to the greenhouse, and it's also attached to this one hallway off of his house. But we usually walk in through the greenhouse from his deck, and you walk in and immediately all you smell is sawdust. Sawdust is covering every single inch of that place because he's working with wood all the time, so obviously it's just going to be flying in the air. It settles on everything. He has this one wall next to the stairs filled with nails, and I wrote all of the numbers on them. That was another one of, like, the first things I remember doing with Grant. He had me write, like, 9 3/4 inch, like 6 1/4 inch, like those kind of things on those jars that are filled with the nails. He also hung up a lot of his grandpa's and his dad's tools up on the top. Like, there's beams and things like that that go across the greenhouse, or not the greenhouse. There's beams and stuff that go across the workshop, and they're covered in, like, old saws, old picks, old screwdrivers, things like that. Really, really cool and really, really old, like, pieces of tools. There are there's like 5 work tables. He has 2 main ones that he works on. The other ones have, like, a bunch of these huge tools on them. He has a wood burning stove in there, so it can be hot or it can be cold.
Start with, I would describe my grandpa as blank.
I would describe my grandpa as a role model. I would love to be just like him when I get older. He's still always moving despite him being 82 years old. He's like always on the move, he's always doing things. He's accomplished so much, despite never going to college. He started his own business. He built this amazing family. Yeah, so role model.
Has your grandpa shaped you into the person you are today, and how?
Well, he absolutely has. I think being like this close to him, because not to brag, but I feel like we have it so good, like where we are, because we're so close to him. Like we have access to him all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel as though like if I didn't have him there, it would be really different, and I would be really different. Because like I said, he's my role model. I strive to be like him. So if I never had like those really close encounter experiences with him, I feel like I would just be different in like how hard I work, because I definitely take that after him.
Aww.
About $10.
Oh, I'll give you $10 too.
Not you.
Oh yeah, pay